All right. Some stuff is going down. We're going to get into this here right now, y'all. So the first thing we're looking at is the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is beautiful. This is a new love. This is new beginnings. This is excellent. This is also emotional awareness as well, emotional healing. And I really, this is a beautiful card to have in the past or in any portion of the readings. Honestly, it's such a beautiful card. It's one of my favorites because I'm Venus Archangel and I love love. So can't fault me, guys. Internally, things were moving a bit slow. Things were happening in a very gradual pace, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't like it was anything too, ridiculous. I feel like with the Knight of Pentacles, yeah, there was a lot of work being done, a lot of focus, a lot of concentrating on the details. Most importantly, things were moving very, very slow. But I feel like it wasn't too bad because ultimately you're coming up as the Queen of Swords. Well, somebody could be coming here as Queen of Swords. You could be dealing with someone that's an air sign, but most importantly, that someone that you feel is intellectual, that's communicative, someone that's very clear about what their truth is, and they're not hesitant to share. Okay, so I do get this feeling with the Queen of Swords that she may have been a little bit blunt, she may have been very hard to communicate with at one period of time though, or to kind of hear her truth. But she doesn't say any of those, she doesn't say hurtful things on purpose. She says those things because it's her truth, and especially if you need to hear them. Now, how the present's looking is the Page of Cups. Like, this is honestly a very, a smaller version of the Ace of Cups, which is still very nice. It's kindling of something, something small, puppy love, right? This is honestly expression in itself of love. Now, for some of you guys, this could be about communicating more about love, being more emotionally open to conversations in regards to feelings. But in the past, I feel like this is a situation from the past, not a constantly situation from the past. This is a situation that has a lot to do with the past, maybe, or there is something that reminds you of the past here. Maybe you're reconnecting in a way that reminds you of the past. This is innocent love in itself. This is also soulmate energy here. Also, you guys are dealing with the King of Swords. So again, this is a whole suit. So you feel like I feel like you guys are coming up as this individual as king, or which is because you guys are kings, right? Fixed signs, Taurus. But this can go either way, male or female. It doesn't matter. But I feel like there's a lot of logical stuff happening. These two are very logical. They're together. But they're usually seen as a divorced couple. The couple that's very, that knows their truth, but they're very distant in regards to their emotions. Okay. And it's not because they don't feel or they don't want to feel. They have to protect they use their truth to protect their emotions. That's why they're great together when it comes to law, legal, logical stuff, but when it comes to being emotional together, they're kind of distant. They're not together. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, this was a new beginning in love with this individual that you felt was a bit distant from the very beginning, and especially when it comes to communication. They may have been very slow in that department, but you were very clear on what your truth was. You were very absolute, or this person was very clear about what their truth was, and you were taking the time to really look at them at every detail. But there was still progress being moved, right? Slow, but there was some progress happening. Now there's a lot of communication about love. There's an emotional offer potentially here, especially when it comes to someone that's from the past. But now you feel like you're more solid about what it is that you want. But the fact that these two are coming in together can either tell me that you guys have your own interests, you have your own way of thinking, you have your own truths. But mending those two together is what the process is all about. Okay, the Page of Cups is about how you feel. This is about what your heart's desire is. Right, trying to figure out what it is that your heart's desire is. At the end of the day, yes, it's communication, it's an offer of love, it's all those great things. However, if you know what your truth is, and this person knows what their truth is, then it's about trying to mend these two. But it feels like a situation from the past. Okay, it's not a bad memory though. The Six of Cups is never a bad memory. It's the Three of Swords that's usually like one of those painful things that come up. You're like, ooh, that hurts. Why? Because you have old swords in your heart. Right? It's not very pleasant energy. But the Six of Cups, is a very pleasant card to have. It reminds you of the past. but you feel like it's almost like old feelings of the past. You because this is in your emotions. This is old feelings of the past, and it reflects on the outside as very cold, very distant, very certain, and very serious. So you may have been you may be feeling very serious about something regarding how you felt about the past. That's now affecting your heart's desire. This is crazy, but how it translates is the Ten of Cups. Ten of Swords, rather. Ten of Swords, jeez. See what I'm saying? My goodness. So the Ten of Swords is coming up in your future internally. So you feel like the worst is over regarding this, okay? But this is also betrayal in a sense, because what you have here is the Tower, which is something completely unexpected, something that you didn't see coming. But the reason why I'm leaning so heavily, mostly on the worst is over part, is because you have the Two of Pentacles. Now, you may find out that somebody's been juggling two people. You may be finding out that somebody's been juggling two people all this time. Or there's a third-party relationship. And, third-party relationships don't have to be necessarily another person. It could be that there's someone's focusing on something else, like a job or something that's practical. Because the Two of Pentacles, because Pentacles are practical anyway, indicate practical energy. Now, it could be that all this time, maybe somebody exposes how they've been feeling, because emotionally, they've got waves going on. You see these, look at how crazy these waves are, that this boat is somehow still afloat. All these boats are going crazy back here. But he's looking at the Two of Pentacles. He's not very aware of his emotions right now. And it could be that the worst is over, because maybe somebody laid it out, but I feel like most importantly that there may be there could be some sort of betrayal here in regards to finding out that somebody actually is, juggling two people. Okay, that's very shocking energy to me, that somebody's, messing around. But I don't get that per se, because the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords, they don't cheat. These are two very solid and serious figures that come up in this relationship. So I don't think this is betrayal in regards to juggling two people. Because technically you do have three people here in this whole situation. Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, King of Swords. There could be somebody outside of the relationship that comes in that, has something to do with your partner. But I do get this feeling though that there may be that I feel like with this situation, there is a lot of progress that needs to be that's been made to kind of look at some sort of issues from the past. Not necessarily issues, but something that's the focus of why they're even together in the first place. If each of you have a different standpoint, what is truly connecting you guys? Because the Nine of Swords is worst is over here. Worst is over in regards to what, Taurus? Let's clarify that, shall we? Let's see what's up. Why is the Ten of Swords coming up for their internal energy? What is this? What is this energy for? The Six of Cups. The worst is over in regards to the past. Wow. Okay. The worst is over in regards to the past energy. The soulmate connection is what's over. That can definitely be a shock to the system, especially when there's a weighing of the pros and cons and whether or not this is really worth your time or not. This is worth your energy. This is worth your situation, because this is you contemplating whether or not, or this is the other person. Ultimately, there's a lot of contemplation about what's truly of value to you, despite what your emotions are saying. You're emotionally at a peak where there is nothing really to go back to. The Tower is about completely destroying the foundation, shattering it to pieces. And it's a change. It's a decision about whether or not this is something you can continue or not. But I feel like the worst is over regarding this connection. These two people stand on different standpoints. They're together when it comes to logic, but when it comes to love, emotionally, they just don't connect. They have their own truth. They have their own ways of doing something. And these two, and I feel like strongly, they work together in some ways, in some respects. But as far as being a couple, that's why they're considered the divorced couple. They're just too stuck in their own ways of doing something that keep them from really truly finding what it is that makes them happy, makes them feel in love. But there's a lot of serious energy here with love. Okay. Let me go ahead and pull you guys your romance angels for this week. See what else is happening here. Right? What is he trying to say, romance angels? What's going on? New love. Wow. Everybody's getting that. Well, I know Aquarius got this. Very interesting. New love. Wow. So, new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So maybe there's somebody here. I don't know. Maybe you guys are. There could be that there's somebody here from the past that reintroduces themselves in the relationship you're currently in. There's new love because internally you feel a connection to someone from the past, but there's somebody new. Whew. And that could be hard because, right, this is the ending of a situation with this individual because there's nothing left to give. There's not a lot of emotions here. You guys are both very cold and very serious with each other. But then somebody comes in, potentially offers you a new cup of love, and that changes your whole perspective of what's going on. It changes everything. And that's why you potentially have this Two of Pentacles coming out, because you're tossing around trying to figure out what you want to do, what you're truly wanting out of this relationship. Why is the Two of Pentacles coming up for Taurus in the future? Oh, actually, you know what? Why is Taurus getting this King of Swords in the present? In a weird way, Taurus, I feel like you're the person that's going to be causing the Tower, because there's not a lot changing. The King of Swords knows what they want. They know the Page of Cups knows what they want as well, but the past doesn't change. And the change happens, I feel like, on your own part, because this is you making a decision about what you want, about what's of value to you. And then the Ten of Swords, the worst is over. You've gotten to the point where you can't take what's there anymore. Constantly dealing with this. There's nothing wrong with the Six of Cups, but the Six of Cups cannot be everything. Can't be the future. It's not the past. More of the past is not going to move you forward. I feel like that's what you're trying to. That's what's happening here. I feel like ultimately at the end of the day, the Six of Cups is like, okay, well, we've been here forever. What's new? What's next? What's happening? Well, I'm going to make something happen because there's nothing moving. And that's why there's new love, because it's been the same old, but what's new? You're not the same person anymore. You got this. You're more serious. You're not. You know what your truth is. You know what the heart's desire potentially is different from what this person's heart's desire is, which is staying the same.